Hello everyone, my name is Rodney Stamps. I'm the president and CEO of Flashlight Recording Studios, and I'm here to give you a brief presentation on the key advantages of a small recording studio over a large recording studio. So I'd like to thank all of my guests for attending. The main purpose of this presentation is for me to persuade you to consider using a smaller studio versus a big studio. Why? Because today's technology has made it so, it has made it so easy for people to record, mix and master their own projects, actually get them out there on the internet, post them on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, and become famous overnight. Just look at our friend Justin Bieber. He was an overnight success on YouTube. Funny how that happened. Well, when he first started, he tried to go to a studio and record, only to find out that it cost almost $200 an hour. He didn't have that kind of money, so what did he do? He went to a smaller studio, he just recorded, put it out there on YouTube, and bam, the guy's got famous, he's rich now, enough said. When I first began my recording career, it was about 30 years ago. I didn't know how much it cost to record either. I went into a big studio and the guy was like, yeah, it's gonna be $200 an hour. And I said, $200 an hour? He was like, oh yeah, well that's cheap, that's the going rate. We have all the latest facilities, we've got all of this, we got all of that. And I was like, well man, I can't afford that. So I went home, I looked online, and I found some equipment myself, went to school, and built my own home studio. So now I'm able to offer them same services to these same people, but at a discounted rate. Well, now that you know how much it costs to record at these studios, let me tell you why it's important. I read an article, and it was from the Christian Science Monitor, and the article said, could home recording destroy major studios? The answer is yes. A lot of major recording studios waste money all the time on artists, on studio time. The artist is not showing up, they've booked all this time, and most of the producers nowadays, they have their own studio. So what do they do now to cut costs? They're utilizing smaller studios. One of the key advantages of using a small studio is that you'll get better customer service. If you used to come to me, bring your project, I could meet your time, I could meet your budget, I could work around your schedule. Whereas if you go to a big studio, you're gonna end up paying $200-300 an hour for studio time, and that doesn't even include the engineer. And that's one thing a lot of people don't know. But with a smaller studio, you just book your time. How much is your time? I'll charge you maybe $25 to $30 an hour, plus it includes the engineer's fees. So the biggest advantage to that is your cost and your savings. And that's one thing that I would like to reiterate. I read another article where homemade music, it's in homemade music with a professional sound. And one of the guys said, he was actually an engineer, One of the engineers said, he'd do this so that people who don't have $1 million can make music and get it played. And that's exactly what a smaller studio will do for you. We can do the same thing, produce the same high quality music as the big boys, only it's just not gonna cost you $1 million. A lot of people go to these big studios just for bragging rights. For example, if you wanna go to the same studio that Justin Timberlake does, it's gonna cost you maybe $2,000 to $3,000 an hour. Who's got that kind of money? I know I sure don't. One of the great resources that you can use to find a smaller studio would be a website called Thumbtack, and that's what I use. Thumbtack is probably one of the best resources. Think of it as like Angie's List, only for musicians. You can go in there, you can shop rates, you can find the right producer, you can find the right equipment for your needs. If you need a smaller studio, if you just have a guitar, you can find someone with that. That is a service that I use. I have a lot of clients, a lot of satisfied clients. Thumbtack is probably one of the best resources. Some studios that work with famous recording artists or feature producers with, some studios that work with famous recording artists or that feature producers with top hip hop top hip hop acts will command a higher fee than lesser known studios with the same factor. If you're dead set on working with Mick Jagger, at the Abbey Roads studios, it can start in the thousands, and that's just to rent the space. Renting studio time will save you money and we can provide you with the same quality results as big commercial studios. I read a passage in the St. Petersburg Times laying down sounds on a smaller scale, and a homeowner said, music made here can sound just as good as any music made in a fancy studio. Maybe it could even sound better because you don't have to worry about time, rushing, or quality. Well, now that I've explained to you the need for musicians to be able to afford a recording session and stay within their budget, to keep up with the fast pace of posting new music online and social media, in conclusion, someone needs to record something every day because everybody's trying to be a star. And I urge anyone that's trying to record to research the small studios in their areas, check their credentials, and make an informed decision on where you want to spend your hard-earned money. All you have to do is do a little research in your area and find who has the best equipment to fit your needs, and I guarantee you'll save more money by going with a small studio. Thank you. That's it.